If I were to ask you which component of communication speaks louder, would you say your tone, your words, or your nonverbal cues? You would be correct if you said nonverbal cues. Is this a surprise? Well, keep watching because we are going to dive into how distracted parenting interferes with building nonverbal communication skills. Hey there, it's Dee the SLP with Spirit Speech Consulting. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I am a speech language pathologist who encourages, motivates, and inspires moms towards powerful, positive parenting in a dangerous digital age. I love teaching parents how they can be more aware of the harmful effects of excessive digital programming and providing guidance on healthy alternatives. My children are now adults, but I remember when they were younger and it was so hard sifting through everything I needed to know to help them to be successful. So look at me as being your language development guide through this crazy journey of parenting. I am so excited to share my over 20 years of experience with you. So that you can make sure you don't miss out on anything, please hit the subscribe button and you will see my videos a lot easier. Also, let me know if you like something you heard on this video by commenting and sharing with others you may know could benefit from this information. If you would like to follow me on other platforms, you can find me at Spirit Speech Consulting on Instagram and YouTube. And on YouTube, I post weekly videos discussing all things about language development and how to engage with digital programming in a more useful, responsible, effective way. I also have an amazing Facebook group called Intentionally Connected Parenting, where we learn and grow together in these very, very tough mom streets. So join the conversation at Intentionally Connected Parenting on Facebook. Now, on to our topic. Nonverbal cues can communicate a lot of information. Did you know that 55% of our message is nonverbal, 38% is vocal, and 7% are just words? So what are nonverbal cues anyway? Well, those are signals we use to communicate, such as eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, and body language. We read these cues sometimes before a single word is even spoken. Think about a time when you were listening to someone and their arms were crossed. That might have told you they were defensive or on edge. Or if they're like me, maybe they were a little cold, because I'm always cold. You might even remember a time when you were talking and noticed a frown on your listener's face. This might have communicated that they were confused or maybe in disagreement. Maybe you remember talking and your counterpart was looking all around the room, not focusing on what you were saying. This might have been saying, "I'm bored," or "I need to go." Now think about the communication challenges that come from not being able to pick up on these cues. This brings about a whole set of obstacles to how a person interacts with their peers, socially fits in, and engages in conversations with others. Children with autism and other neurodiverse disorders often have difficulties interpreting nonverbal cues, and children consuming too much media are mirroring some of those same behaviors. So, now think about the times when we are distracted with our phones around our kids, especially our younger kids, because we know from the age of birth to 5 is the most critical time for brain growth and development. Part of learning how to communicate comes from learning what nonverbal cues even mean. I spoke in a previous video about why it's so important to give eye contact and how it teaches the child emotions. But let's also talk about facial expressions. The pandemic has created a unique challenge for our babies to learn facial cues. Mask wearing has covered our faces and given our babies almost a blank canvas to interpret meaning. If your child is in this group, it would be beneficial to become really animated with your facial expressions to compensate for some of the time lost in learning this skill. Gestures also say a lot without uttering a word. Very early on, children communicate most with gestures as they develop the language to produce words. Think about the times your child might have come and tapped your leg and you were on your phone. Of course, you looked up to see what they wanted, make sure they were okay. But did you go right back to looking at your phone? Think about the message that this communicates to your child. And even beyond the message, it's teaching your child behaviors you don't want them to show to others when they're older. Body language also conveys a lot in the message. When we are on our phones, our body language is not saying, "Hey, I see you. I want to play with you. Come here. Show me what you're doing." But it rather says, "I'm not interested. Something else is more important. I'm here, but I'm busy." So, okay, I get it. I always have to say this to my mamas. This is not meant to make you feel guilty or crummy about your parenting, but to arm you with the knowledge so you can make better decisions and have greater connections with your children. I always say, when you know better, you do better. When we're distracted by our phones, we reduce or even eliminate the opportunities to teach nonverbal communication to our children. Now that you know how heavily weighted nonverbal cues are in a message, I'm sure you can see how important it is to teach it. And you teach it without even realizing it. Just by being present and intentional, you can combat distracted parenting. It really is as simple as that. So get silly with your kids. Make funny faces and make funny noises. Even if your kids are older, make a focused effort to pay attention to their cues. Nonverbal cues are subtle but vital signs in language development that will impact your children all the way through adulthood. All right. Well, that is all we have for today. I hope this helps you think about intentionality when it comes to your parenting. Let me know if this was helpful. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you think and how I can be of more help to you in this parenting jungle. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.